Hey, I'm Vicky and these are my top tips and hacks for beating the cost of living crisis. As we all know, April saw several household bills increase, piling on the pressure on already stretched household budgets. I'm going to share with you the things that I'm doing to beat the cost of living crisis. These are tried and tested tips that are working for me and hopefully they can work for you too. Number one, and actually possibly the most important one on the list and the one that I return to again and again, whether times are tough or things are going well, is budgeting and making sure that I'm reviewing that budget on a regular basis. Keeping on top of my monthly subscriptions, my monthly bills, my monthly costs, as well as the annual costs that are coming up so that I'm prepared for those bills and I've got the money ready to pay for them, just means that I am completely aware of all times of how much money I can spend on the fun stuff, the extra stuff, and how much extra money maybe I have to pop into a savings pot to meet my savings goals. Sitting down to review your budget really is not complicated. You just need to look at your income, every single one of your outgoings, including how much you're spending on the fun stuff. So like any beauty treatments you have, hair treatments, all of that kind of stuff, takeaway coffees that you get, writing it all down, reviewing if you are spending beyond your means, and really look at how much you're saving and if you're saving enough to meet your savings goals. And then you can start to review how you can trim your spendings, but also if there's any possible way for you to increase your income. Number two is declutter and sell your stuff, which has two brilliant benefits of freeing up some space in your house, but also making you some cash. You can sell anything from toys to shoes to accessories to furniture, garden equipment. Pretty much everything has a marketplace out there for it. The platforms that I favour for selling my stuff are Facebook Marketplace, and I also absolutely love Vinted. Number three, it's so simple but not enough people are doing it still, and that is using all of the possible cashback sites and apps available to you. So not only should you be signed up to an app such as Top Cashback, which whenever you do your online shopping you can get cashback for your purchases, but you should also be taking advantage of some of the other cashback sites that maybe aren't as well known as the big ones like Top Cashback. So one example of that is Airtime Rewards. I've spoken about Airtime Rewards on here before. It is such a great and simple to use app. Once you've set up a profile on the app, you then link your bank card to your account and it traces your purchases that you make with brands that are partnered up with Airtime Rewards. The money that you earn with Airtime Rewards goes towards your mobile phone bill. So they won't put cash into your bank account, but it does make you money off your mobile phone bill, which effectively is cash in your pocket. Over the last couple of years, I've earned over £110 off my mobile phone bill, which I think we can agree is money well worth having. The other cashback site that I'm relatively new to, but I'm loving, is the Jam Donut app. What I love about this one is that you buy gift cards through the Jam Donut app, which you can do on Top Cashback, but it has a lot of brands that aren't on Top Cashback or the other big cashback sites. So for example, whenever I go into Sainsbury's or Morrison's, I buy a gift card to pay for the shopping that I've bought, and I get a little bit of money back in my Jam Donut account. What I love about Jam Donut is they credit your account instantly, and as soon as you get to the £10 threshold, which really doesn't take that long, you only need 1,000 points to do so. Once you get to that £10 threshold, they pay out within 24 hours. Well worth having. The next tip is to have an emergency fund. It is so crucial to have money set aside for a rainy day. You don't know what's going to be coming up in the future. The other week we had a problem with the lock on our conservatory door. It just completely seized up and totally stopped working. It cost us some money for someone to come over, and then they had to completely replace the lock because the lock had just got really old and had completely seized up. But luckily we had an emergency fund to dip into to pay for that. And the next tip can help you avoid having to use your emergency fund too much, and that is fix it yourself. So there are so many great tutorials online for fixing various things around your house. Now, I'm not suggesting that you get involved in your house's electrics or anything dangerous or any hardcore plumbing, but there are some problems that are universal that happen with everyone's house that actually there are really, really simple tutorials online for you to follow. So for example, a couple of weeks ago, our hot water stopped switching on. We were really frustrated by it. Oh, we're gonna have to call someone out, and obviously it's an £80 call out every single time they come. But luckily we were able to go online and figure out that actually the specific problem that we were having was really common, and it was very, very easy to just replace a part that was connected to our, do you know what? I'm not even going to pretend that I understand because my husband did it, but basically it cost us £25 to buy this new part. He fitted it himself and everything was absolutely fine. It was a very, very straightforward fix that he managed to do just by following a YouTube tutorial online. The next one is a super quick and simple one, but really, really effective. Wash all of your laundry at 30 degrees. As soon as you turn down the temperature, you're saving money on energy bills. If you're worried about 30 degrees not quite being enough to get those stains out, and we know what kids are like when they're playing in mud or at school, they come back covered in all sorts, just add a little bit of vanish powder or some soda crystals to your wash. The next tip is another laundry one. Ditch your tumble dryer. We've never had a tumble dryer in our house. I had one when I was growing up, but we've never had a tumble dryer, so I'm just used to not having one. And the money you save from not having one is not to be sniffed at. It can cost you around £1.27 per use to use your tumble dryer. That adds up over the course of the year. During winter, I dry our clothes indoors as much as possible. On a sunny day, when it's bright, when there's a little breeze, I'll take the clothes horse that we use to hang all our clothes on, put it outside and take use of the sunshine. Dries the clothes in a matter of hours, particularly things like bed sheets, which dry so quickly, particularly in the warmer summer months. And on the subject of energy bills, you can save money simply by cutting your shower time by a couple of minutes every time you go in. Another thing I've been doing recently to save money is trying to leave longer between hair appointments. So I do my own nails. I don't really like sort of go to spas or have beauty treatments or anything like that. I do everything at home, but the thing that I now do at a salon is my hair, because I was dyeing it myself, but it all became a bit of a disaster and it wasn't quite the colour that I liked. So I get that done at the salon, but I'm trying to leave a little bit longer between hair appointments. So at the moment, I don't know if you can see, but it's certainly showing that I need to go, and I will be going imminently, but what I've done is I've left it 4 months between appointments instead of just 2 months. And what that means is that I'll be having 3 hair appointments a year instead of 6. And when you're spending over £100 on each hair appointment to get the highlights done and the trim, it soon adds up. The cost of a first class stamp went up by 15p on the 1st of April. It went up to £1.10. So if you're someone who sends a lot of letters, then there is a super simple way that you can send your post completely free of charge. You can get completely free stamps through mail agents. What is mail agents? I signed up for mail agents last year, and basically it's being a mystery shopper, but for the Royal Mail. So you will receive letters on a regular basis. You'll have to log in the mail agent's app when you've received them, and then you will be asked to post things out. And again, you'll be asked to log in the app when you posted them and where you posted them. It's really very, very low maintenance because I drive past a post box pretty much every single day anyway. It really doesn't matter to me dropping something in the post and just logging in an app when I've done it. And I get sent around £15 worth of stamps a month for my troubles. The next few tips are all about saving money on food. If you're anything like me, your food shop is probably one of, if not the biggest expense in a normal week. I think it's really important whenever you go to the supermarket to always have a plan. I find the times that I overspend on groceries are always the times when I haven't made a meal plan. I haven't aimed to just do 1 or 2 grocery shops in the week. I've gone in hungry and I've just ended up overbuying. I've bought stuff that we don't need. I've bought stuff that we maybe already have, and it's just a recipe for disaster for overspending. So I plan, I check what vouchers I got, I make sure that I have got some money on my Jam Donut app so that I can get cash back on whatever I buy, except when I'm buying at Tesco, because unfortunately Tesco isn't on the Jam Donut app. If I'm buying at Sainsbury's or Morrison's, I can get cash back through Jam Donut. However, even though I plan and make a shopping list, I also like a little bit of flexibility to look at yellow sticker foods. So yellow stickers go on items that are about to go out of date or are going out of date on that day. What you can do is ask a member of staff at your local favoured supermarket what time they tend to put yellow stickers on food, and that way you can sort of time your grocery shop to go in so that you can get a hold of this yellow sticker food. Now, some of it you could freeze for use, like you don't have to use it right away, or just whatever you do, just make sure you've got a plan for using it so that you're not spending money on something that you're just going to throw away in a couple of days' time. The next tip is to batch cook. If you're cooking a meal that's really, really easy to sort of double the portion size, so say like you're cooking something with mince like spaghetti bolognese or shepherd's pie, make extra and then you can have it the next day or in a couple of days' time. I love cooking meals like shepherd's pie that are super easy to freeze because it just means that I'm not having to cook the next day. We'll just have the same meal twice. Doing that means that you tend to waste less food, and I also find that when we know that we're having the same thing the next day, we sort of portion control ourselves rather than kind of overeating on this the comfort food that we love so much. You kind of, when you know that, look, there's a lot here because some of it is for tomorrow, you kind of eat the amount that you actually need to be full rather than going beyond the point of being full. The next tip is take advantage of Gusto and HelloFresh offers. I did a review of Gusto and I thought it was really great. The only problem with it was that once it gets up to normal price, it is more expensive than shopping at a supermarket, but their offer price to get you started with Gusto is way cheaper than buying the same ingredients at the supermarket. That's for a box of 4 meals for 4 people. So take advantage of the introductory offers that subscription services like Gusto and HelloFresh will do. And then what you can do is kind of tag team between them. As soon as you cancel your subscriptions, they're desperate to have you back again. So just switch between the two. You know, you don't have to be a loyal customer. Take advantages of the offers that they will give you to try and get you back again. And again, that's another great way to save money on food and also to get some slightly different recipes. One of the most important things that I've done in recent years is just being a more savvy shopper with what I'm looking at on the shelf. So I know that the expensive stuff the supermarket wants me to buy is like right here within my eye line. So whenever I'm looking at, say, like the pasta, I'm looking up and down to see, okay, is there, you know, a branded product that's cheaper? Because in every single supermarket there are levels, right? There's like your branded products that are really, really expensive. There's a supermarket owned fancy brand. There's a normal supermarket brand. And then there's also a budget supermarket brand. And when it comes to spaghetti, is there really that much of a difference? Personally, I don't think there is. So I'm making sure I'm looking up and down. And then I'm also checking the price by weight of absolutely everything that I buy. If I buy a slightly bigger thing of this, does it work out a lot cheaper? Is it something with a long use by date so that I know that I'll definitely use it, it's not going to go to waste? Another great way to save money on food is to try the Too Good To Go app. This company aims to cut back on food waste by connecting customers with shops, restaurants, cafes that have got excess food at the end of a working day. Another way to save money on foods is to always make sure that you're taking snacks, water and stuff out with you. I've lost count of the number of times that we're stuck somewhere, I've forgotten the water, the kids are thirsty, I end up having to spend £4 or £5 on drinks and a little snack. I really try now to make sure that there's always something in my backpack to take for them. Always fill up the water bottle, have emergency snacks on the go, things that will last a long time, like they still eat yo-yos and little boxes of raisins, that kind of thing, just so that I'm not having to spend quite so much money when we're out and about. And still slightly on the subject of food is start saving for Christmas right now, particularly if you're the person who hosts and is spending all of the money on food, which really does add up, particularly buying that turkey. So I really recommend that you start, to be honest, right after Christmas. We're in April right now as I film this. Calculate how much you normally spend at Christmas time, divide it by the number of months we've got left until Christmas. Right now that's just 8. And start putting that money away every single month so that Christmas doesn't come as a horrible shock and you don't end up with a horrible debt hangover in January. Another great way to beat the cost of living crisis is to seek out the cheapest petrol in your area. A lot of us become creatures of habit when it comes to buying petrol. We just go to the one that we drive past on a regular basis. It's not necessarily the cheapest one. So I've downloaded the Petrol Prices app and I use that to check what the petrol prices are in my area so that I know that I'm going to the place that is going to sell me the petrol at the cheapest price, and that's saving me money. Next up, layer offers that are available to you. So I do this a lot, and honestly it feels so great when you know you're not only getting money off from one avenue but several avenues all at the same time. So one transaction that I did recently, I took advantage of Sainsbury's 25% off 6 or more bottles of wine, bought 6 bottles of wine. I used the Jam Donut app to purchase a gift voucher and got cash back for that purchase. So I paid for it with my Jam Donut app, and then I scanned the receipt in my Shopix app, which I only get like 5 pence per receipt, so it's not a huge money maker, but it was another 5 pence back off the shop. And then obviously I scanned my Nectar card, so I got Nectar points, which eventually I can use towards future shops. I tend to save up my Nectar points for Christmas to pay for the big Christmas food shop. And if you're doing absolutely everything you possibly can to cut back on your spending, then maybe it's time to boost your income with a side hustle. There are so many different side hustles out there. You could sell your skills. So for example, say you're a graphic designer or you're a logo designer or you're a whiz at computer problems. You can go through a website like Fiverr. There are so many different types of jobs that people are doing through Fiverr. Make a little bit of money in your own time there. Online tutoring, either music, or if you're a teacher, then you could help other students in your spare time with the subjects that you specialize in or the age group that you specialize in. Pet sitting and dog walking, cleaning, freelance writing, becoming a virtual assistant. There are so many different side hustles out there. I've got a whole article with over 70 ideas for side hustles. I'm going to link it in the description below. And my final tip for you today is to try and avoid money saving fads. Before you go out and spend money on something that people are claiming is going to save you a load of money, first of all, figure out, is this actually going to save me money? Is this actually applicable to my situation? And can I actually afford to buy into this big money saving thing? To begin with, let me just give you an example of what I personally think is a bit of a money saving fad. And I know a lot of you are fans of this thing, and I don't want to be like really harsh on it, and I'm going to explain my reasoning. But the air fryer, okay, everyone's talking about air fryers at the moment and they sound amazing, okay? They can cook great food, they can cook it quickly, people are getting amazing results. And over a long period of time, yes, it can save you money because it's cheaper to run than your oven. But if you're looking to save money this year, right now, if you buy that air fryer, you're looking at spending over £100. You're not going to get that money back in the amount you save on your energy bills by not using your oven in that time. So you need to consider, whenever something like this comes up, how long is it going to take me to recoup that money? How long, like, when will I start saving? And is that something that fits into your budget? If you're cool with it not saving you money for a couple of years, then that's great, go ahead and do it. But all I'm saying is, before you buy into those fads, just stop and think, well, people say it saves me money, but is it going to save me the money right now? Is it a money saving idea that actually works for me and my budget as it stands this year? I really hope that you found these tips useful, guys. Please share with me any of your tips in the comments below. I love reading your ideas. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next upload. Bye.